Professor Saibal Chattopadhyay, Director, IIM Calcutta. Dr. Kiran Seth, Chairman, SPICMACAY. Dr. Raja Audi, SPICMACAY, Calcutta. Professor Ashok Banerjee, Dean. And at any SPICMACAY function, how can we not refer to Pandit Ajay Chakravarti? It's a privilege to inaugurate the first international convention of SPICMACAY being held here in Calcutta and at the the Institute of Management, Calcutta. Calcutta has a reputation of being India's cultural capital, and IIMC, as the oldest management institution, brings a certain amount of luster to this occasion. I can think of no other city or institution better positioned to charm young participants' presence at this convention to understand and appreciate the importance of cultural renaissance. The fact that there are so many young participants who have gathered here today certainly warms our hearts. It is over 40 years since SPICMACAY came into existence. It was way back in 1972 that the seeds were sown at a concert by Ustad Nasir Aminuddin Dagar and Ustad Zia Fariduddin Dagar at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, New York. I hope I read what is said. Step by step and building block by building block thereafter, and more so since 1977, the organization has progressed steadily. The first lecture demonstration series took place in 1979. The first program conducted abroad was in 1988. The I magazine intended for the youth was first released in 1991. In 1999, the first school convention was held in Delhi. The first week-long festival took place in Dehradun in 1995. Correct? What does it say? Okay. The geographical spread of SPICMACAY mirrored the intensity of its efforts to spread its message, namely, and I quote, to conserve and promote an awareness of the rich and heterogeneous cultural tapestry of India amongst the youth of the country by focusing on the classical arts with their attendant legends, rituals, mythology and philosophy, and to facilitate an awareness of their deeper and subtler values. Young participants were present here. Before I go any further, I would like to take this occasion to pay homage to one of the most formidable cultural icons of our times. Rarely equal in his musical genius as an outstanding performer and composer, as well as an influential teacher without fear, who brought to the lives of millions of people around the world a profound interest and a keen appreciation of the traditional heritage of an ancient civilization. The homage is to none other than the remarkable music maestro, Pandit Ravi Shankar, who hails from this city. Almost 60 years ago, the first education minister of independent India and one of the most respected figures of the Indian independence movement, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, had observed while inaugurating the Sangeet Natak Academy in 1953. I quote, India's precious heritage of music, dance and drama is one which we must cherish and develop. We must do so not only for our own sake, but also as our contribution to the cultural heritage of mankind. Nowhere is it truer than in the field of art that to sustain means to create. Quote ends. It is this tradition that we at SPICMACAY need to not only cherish but strengthen further. Our society has evolved over several millennia through the confluence of different races who became part of the Indian mainstream. The collective conscience of India is thus a confluence of diverse beliefs and faiths, many indigenous and some coming from outside. The outstanding characteristic of Indian civilization is assimilation, and that of Indian culture, tolerance, accommodation, and open-mindedness. The inner urges and the cumulative beliefs of our people, the product of centuries of civilizational experience, dictate our nation's strength, its character, and its capacity. Preservation of this cultural and historical heritage is a vital trust, and this is a responsibility that SPICMACAY has taken upon itself. India has about 800 different languages. It is one of the most religiously diverse nations in the world, with some of the most deeply religious societies and cultures. In addition to being the birthplace of Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism, collectively known as Dharmic religions, it is also home to other vibrant religions such as Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, etc. India is also the melting pot of cultural diversity, encompassing different styles of art, architecture, literature, music, and dance, and several lifestyles from the urban and the rural to the tribal. Indian music spans various traditions, from folk songs and music, which vary from region to region, to tribal music and classical and semi-classical musical traditions. In recent years, there has been a major renaissance as far as Indian music, especially classical music, is concerned. It has become a major global art form, tracing its ancient origins to the sacred temples of India and later to the courts of medieval rulers. There are two recognized styles of classical music: the Hindustani style, largely confined to North India, and the Carnatic style of South India. Both in their own way are seen as celestial gifts to millions of connoisseurs in India and across the world. Both have their own dedicated instruments, both percussion and wind. Vocal traditions in both classical styles are, however, different. Carnatic music is usually devotional in nature, while Hindustani classical music is less so, reflecting a synthesis of the Vedic chant tradition and the equally ancient Persian tradition